Welcome to episode 10 of the Inside Drive podcast. Appreciate y'all tuning in. As always, you can check it out after the fact on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere you consume your podcast products. Got to mention Panhandle Credit Union. The quality relationships they have with our community is what Panhandle Credit Union is all about. Whether it is sponsoring an event, donating to a cause, providing loan options, or setting people up with great banking products, Panhandle Credit Union is here to serve those who live, work, worship, or attend school in Bay and other surrounding counties. Together, Panhandle Credit Union builds community. Visit panhandlecu.org or swing by any location to join. And of course, got to give a shout out to Alan Watson at Golf Plus. If you're looking for a job, Alan needs employees. We need to get him some employees so he can come on the podcast. He hasn't been able to do that. He's been holding it down by himself now, kind of for a long time. He's also still doing, if you mention the Inside Drive podcast, you buy 10 grips, get the 11th free. Of course, as Jay knows, they've got an unbelievable fitting studio, simulator, and they have all the brands and models of clubs that you could possibly want. And you can try out all the different shafts while you are there. Need some club repair? Their repair shop is second to none. Tour, van, quality repairs every time, and fast too. Located in the Edgewater Shopping Plaza next to Firefly. You can give them a call at 850-249-2726 or visit them online at golfplusretail.com. Excited to have Coach Josh Latch on the show today. Josh is the county AD for Bay County here. 3 years now, Josh?
Going on year 3.
Shoo, time is certainly flying.
Crazy.
It almost goes so fast it doesn't seem like you ever left.
You're right. No, I think I'm almost I'm to the point where I'm back here longer than I was actually away. You know, I was gone for 2 years, and I'm back almost going to year 3. So it's been great to be back.
Yes, glad to have you back, obviously, in the county as well. Jay, I've got some questions for you here too momentarily, but let's dive into some of the stuff that obviously I'd love to hear about, our listeners would love to hear about. One thing that we talked about last year was the new sports coming into Bay County for high school. That was beach volleyball, which is already officially started. Yep. Last year was the first season. And then girls flag football starts this year, correct?
Correct. So that'll be a spring sport. The FHJ has it as a spring sport. So a lot of other states do it as a fall, which we've all, as ADs, have petitioned to kind of go that route. One, for the sake of the athletes, you're kind of pulling from a smaller pot of athletes with spring sports because there's so many.
Yeah.
But I'm a little envious of how other states have it where it's, a fall sport, and they usually play their flag football games right before Friday Night Lights, right? Tackle football, right? So awesome. As a doubleheader, would love to get there one day.
Yes.
Got a long way to go to petition the FHA to change that. But, man, we're excited about it in the spring. We're looking forward to it. Participation's already been, at the peak. Everybody's talking about it. A lot of middle school students, believe it or not, are talking about their anticipation to play it. So we're excited about that. We'll have 4 teams, so Rutherford, Mosley, Bay, and Arnold.
Awesome.
We'll be able to field a team this year. And like I've said, for the beach volleyball stuff, if you're at Bozeman and your school does not host a team within its on campus, then you're eligible to play at any other school and try out just as those other students would.
Gotcha. I mean, I love and beach volleyball obviously went real well.
Took off, man. I was really impressed, really pleased with our numbers, and again, growing. And it's like what I love about it's a cross trainer. It's a great cross trainer for a court volleyball. So you can see this year, like our high school volleyball teams are awesome. They've just had so much success, and a lot of them cross-trained with beach, but now that they're able to still, take their school name and compete against other schools and, play it as a sport, as a, sanctioned sport with the FSA, it's been great. So obviously our schools are Arnold, Bay, and Mosley with those. And I think Mosley won the county championship this year and had the most success out of all 3. But just to see everybody out there taking it on their own, very new sport. Not that much different than beach or than court volleyball, but enough to really have learn a new skill set. So it's always good to see.
A little harder to run, a little harder to jump in that sand.
It is
certainly going from beach to court. It can really help your jumping, your shiftiness, your agility, all that awesome stuff. And obviously, a lot of colleges around our area have some really good beach volleyball programs, Florida State being one as well. And then, of course, the national championship is just hosted down the road in Gulf Shores, which I'd still love to get to at one time. We had, you remember when we had the USC Olivia Bakos volleyball player on? That was cool. It was cool how we got kind of connected to him. Obviously, USC and UCLA are those perennial national championship winners. This was for people that may have not been to a football game yet this year. Obviously, as we started the football season, there were some new policies to some of the football games. I'm assuming for safety reasons.
Yeah.
For those who may have not been to a game yet, can you kind of explain what those were?
Yeah, so our safety team sat down, and our safety coordinator, Vern Barth, who is an ex-athletic director, ex-coach in this county, he's a phenomenal human and does a really good job on the safety side of our whole school district. Our safety team sat down last year and really talked about different enhancing policies that they wanted to see implemented across the board in different facets. But as it relates to athletics, going the route of clear bags. So our new policy is 8-inch by 12-inch clear bags getting into the stadiums, and just trying to educate people on that. I know going to concert nowadays, like I'm going to one next week in Atlanta, and there's a no bag policy, right? So,
see that a lot now.
but you're starting to see that a little bit more. So really, it's just an extra measure we're trying to take for safety, and I put that out to all the visiting teams from out of county. So it's really just a procedure that we're taking to try to keep everybody there, keep the shenanigans down a little bit, just try to be proactive in making sure nothing happens instead of reactive.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, anything you can do to make it more safe. Because I mean, let's be honest, going to a football game on a Friday night is a family event.
Absolutely.
And you shouldn't have to be worried about anything happening while you're going to attend that event.
And part of that, and I'll just speak on, is our digital ticketing, right? So our superintendent has gone full digital ticketing. And I know that's like a kind of a new policy, and actually FHSA has gone full digital ticketing with all their stuff for any state series events. So that's a new one that we've been working through the last couple of years. The beautiful thing is there's a secondary option of payment. So we use a program called GoFan, where there's an app you can download. You can get your tickets personalized. You can buy tickets, and then you can send them to different people. And there's also an option to pay at the gate, where we have iPads and a card reader, so you can tap it, you can insert it. You can actually do Apple Pay and all the things, Google Pay. So again, just trying to provide options for people. And that's just somewhere we've decided to go as a district. And a lot of other districts have gone digital. I can't tell you a college football game that I've been to recently where you haven't had a digital ticket or an MLB game or whatnot. So that's just kind of where we're going, but we've kind of decided to go that route as a district as well.
I mean, it's, like you just said, it's super common now, and you might as well get used to it because it's certainly here to stay almost in every event you could possibly attend. This is kind of a fun question. Since your tenure of county AD has begun, what was your favorite game or championship that you have attended? It might be tough.
What a hard question.
I know.
I enjoy my job. I love what I do. Getting the chance to go to all these events and support and be there for these student athletes, it's incredible. I miss building the intentional relationships, being at the schools and the deep relationships, but I feel like I have a chance to get to know a little bit more, of the student athletes just in passing, and and going to practices, going to games, going to workouts, popping my head in the weight rooms and stuff. It's really fun. So in saying that, my first thought is Arnold State Championship 2 years ago when they're down in PKs 3-1, and they come back, and I've never been to an event, high school, college, professional, where you have the crap, this is going south feeling. Like I remember me and Britt Smith were walking down the sideline to go consult. We better go over there so we can go help consult. And then as we're walking, like the tide turns, and you're like, oh my gosh, like there's actually something happening here. And then just that final save, Josh Chandler was just incredible. I was still getting chilly. It was like, what in the world, and just unbelievable composure by, Jonah, who's the best soccer coach. I mean, he is such a gift to Bay County. Like he is incredible at what he does. Such a great coach, a great person, and
and he's he's got a grassroots program to continue that pipeline. We'll talk a little bit more about that.
And pipeline. He's just really good at what he does. So even him just watching him throughout the whole thing, just leading those men. We're still in this. Hey guys, let's go. Next shot. And having the faith in his kids to trust the preparation to finish it. And then obviously last year, the rematch with Jesuit. Still not as much of a oh my goodness moment, but just the control of the game and just the tactics. So I'm not a soccer guy by nature. That's one sport I stopped early on. But watching him work and watching those kids buy into that system and really just trust the process and be able to. That was a really cool moment. Weightlifting meets are really cool. I don't know if you've ever been to a weightlifting meet.
I've never been to a weightlifting meet.
Really incredible. 2 years ago, we had a Bozeman wrestler, so off of weightlifting, going to wrestling, win the state championship down in Kissimmee, Florida. Am I saying that right? I'm not certain.
Or Kissimmee.
Kissimmee,
right?
I don't know.
But we interviewed him as well.
We had him on our show too.
Yeah.
Unbelievable young man.
That was such, because he was outmatched.
Yeah.
And that, again, not a wrestling guy, but just watching, Coach Dobbs and just watching the whole experience, him get to the next level, get to the next round. So going down there and watching him compete and just the emotion and the strategy that I didn't understand half of it, just watching students enjoy the fruits of their labor is really, really cool to do. So I could go down the list. We could be here all day. It'd be past an hour, but those are the ones that come to mind.
No, absolutely. That Arnold game was fantastic. Was that against Niceville?
Jesuit.
Yeah,
Jesuit.
Right,
both years.
Yeah.
It was the rematch, right? So,
that's so awesome. You get to go attend those and watch them in person. That's pretty special.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of state championships, what is a state and it's any school, any sport, whatever it may be. What does a state championship at a particular school in a particular sport mean for the county as an overall thing?
Yeah, we take a lot of pride in it collectively. So in this new position, and I didn't understand it being at the school level as much as I understand it now. The amount of effort and time and energy I put into all the schools, you love to see when things go good for the students, right? Because that's why we're here. We're here for the student athletes and hoping to just get a glimpse of the appreciation and success that they get to share, right? So, that it's hard, during the summer hours where you're trying to get everything ready, the budgets and all the different travels and all the different things that go behind the scenes to making this stuff actually go. The plus side of seeing actually us win at the state level is really encouraging, right? So we had 6 state champions last year, right? So that's between weightlifting, tennis, soccer, right? So we had a good variety of individual and state champions. And that is becoming norm. Crazy enough. The last 2 years I've been here, we've collected a lot of state I say a lot compared to a lot of districts, whether it's individual or team. So we have a unique thing going in Bay County where we are at that state level a lot more consistently than in years past, and a lot more than a lot of counties around us. And that's just a cool thing to see. So when you talk about taking pride in it, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that we do. But again, at the end of the day, we're here for the students. And when the students have success doing what they love and are really, are good at, and then beyond just state championships, seeing all these kids sign to go play at the next level, whether it's NAIA to Division I, Power 5, every opportunity is a great opportunity because, the ball's going to stop bouncing at one point. You're going to have to put it down. But to see that extended, whether the 2 year or 4 years past high school, giving kids the opportunity to continue to do what they love while getting education, stuff like that. It's really fun to sit back and watch.
It's kind of the why you do what you do.
Oh, absolutely.
Too, and just, everybody that lives in the county, you can feel the excitement when these teams are making those state championship runs. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's rooting, whether you go to Arnold, Bozeman, Rutherford, wherever it is. If Mosley's baseball team, if Arnold's baseball team, if Arnold's soccer team, whatever it may be, is making a run at a state championship, everybody seems to be a fan and rooting for that.
What
team
I love is you see the messages on the marquee boards out front and the social media post, and it's hey, we might be rivals right on the field in this sport or that sport, but hey, good luck down there at the regional championship or at the Elite Eight or at the state championships. And that right there is you kind of get lost in the grind of we got to beat Mosley, we got to beat Arnold, we got to beat we got to beat these teams. But when seasons end and you see teams go deep in playoffs, the beauty of our county is you actually have teams or schools who lay down their rivalries and actually say, let's go support. Yeah. There's actually opposing coaches who drive to go watch the state championships, the regional matches, which is so cool to me.
It's just that Bay County is just such a great community.
I agree.
In sports and life and supporting one another. And it's, it's obviously a pretty cool place to be. And, to be kind of in charge of sports for our areas Got to be quite fulfilling.
Well, and I'll give you a shout out, Ryan. Like you're not going to give yourself a shout out, but you.
It's kind of narcissistic to do that.
Huh?
It's kind of narcissistic to give yourself.
Well, you got to
a
talk
shout-out.
about yourself, right? A little bit.
I try not to.
But you have done a lot for youth sports around here.
I've tried,
and
because I understand how important it is.
Yeah.
To get into the pipelines, like we've talked about at length before. It just it seems like baseball is in the forefront of this county when it comes to youth baseball, travel ball, and it kind of has parlayed a little bit into the high school level. I think that's fair to say. But then you've got other sports. Obviously, soccer's a little different. You've got two primary, programs. One of them, obviously, Jonah owns and runs and kind of builds into his Arnold program. But then the football side of things, obviously I've been involved a little bit more in football, youth tackle football, and it just seems like we don't have the quote-unquote community sense when it comes to football. And, you just think about where you grew up, right?
Yep.
In Griffin.
Yep.
Probably Griffin had a youth program.
Yep.
And if you played football, you played football for the youth program in Griffin.
Right.
You went to middle school, you played middle school football for Griffin.
Yep.
If you went to high school, you played high school football for Griffin. And you just had that. Everybody knew where they were going to play,
Right.
and everybody knew who they were going to support. And because of the way we're structured here in the county, and of course because of school choice as well, but you just have all these programs in small areas, and I feel like Bay County is just different than most places when it comes to having a community for that football program.
Right.
Because I'd like to say the program is the high school all the way down to the youth programs, and I don't know if there's anything that's ever going to be done to help that out, but it's just football just seems to be different here than anywhere else. And obviously we've got some really good high school programs as well, but it's kind of the same programs year in and year out. And, in a perfect world, you'd love to have these specific pipelines to Rutherford, to Bay, to Mosley, to Arnold, to Bozeman. Bozeman's kind of got their own pipeline right now. That whole Southport community.
Yeah.
You go to Bozeman, you're there K through 8, but you play for the Southport Patriots. You play for the South, the boat and the middle school, which is Bozeman too. And then obviously you roll right up into the high school program, and they've had some pretty good success at their level. So I don't know, maybe it's not a problem. Maybe there's not a solution for it, but it's just something I've kind of noticed with my 2 cents.
Yeah.
It makes it hard from top down with school choice. With, open enrollment, and
Absolutely.
that's a statewide issue, right? So we can model after what Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee does for forever. We could talk about it for a long time, but the school choice over the last couple of years has really taken a hit with that taking pride in your community thing, because
It's hard to.
It's hard to there's various reasons why you might go to a different school, right? And again, that's not for us to decide what that reason is, but that's the school choice was meant for academics, and it's turned into a rollover and a bleed out of athletics. So again, what is the legislation going to do to maybe try to put that back together? Again, I think I refer to the toothpaste, analogy of once it's out, it's really hard to put back in.
100%.
So,
in that one,
and we went.
I've tried that
in
before.
our state. Our state has gone to the max, and there are, like, if you look at what's going on in Alabama right now, like with the open enrollment stuff, there's a lot of states trying to model what Florida's doing, for good or bad. But talking about just the community pride part, it's hard, because then it's like, okay, well, I've gone to the Southport Patriots. I've gone through, K8 at Bozeman. I've played the middle school sports. I've done this. Okay, well then, for whatever reason, sophomore, junior, senior year, I'm now going to school B because I can, right? For academics, athletics, whatever, right? Yeah. So it's really hard from top down. It's kind of, as you see with sports, it starts, the NBA implements this, and then now, like, shot clocks, right? Yeah. Shot clocks implemented NBA. Okay, well then college, right? Well, now it's in high schools, right? So, like, again, like next week we're installing shot clocks at every one of our high schools.
Dang,
because
how long is it going to be?
Oh, we're playing with shot clocks.
How long is the shot clock going to be?
Oh, 30 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 35 seconds.
For what sport?
Basketball.
Oh, for basketball.
But that's the thing, is just when you start some at the top, it finds its way down.
It eventually
and
makes
again,
its
with
way
this,
to,
with this, I think it's the same thing. But I think what you've done and a lot of other people, we could start name dropping everybody that is involved at the grassroots level. That's the most important part of what we do, is getting them accustomed to whatever sport it is. In my opinion, multiple sports. I played 4 sports throughout high school, or from diapers all the way up. And it really shaped who I was as a person, and provided me a lot of different opportunities. And the grassroots is the key. unfortunately, I think some of the things done at the top levels kind of filter down, and then there's not as much commitment or loyalty or different things, right?
Yeah.
If you had a wish list of some sports to come to Bay County in the future, and just Josh Latch's
Pickleball.
wish list, you get 2 of them. Pickleball.
I'm just kidding.
No,
It might be coming. Honestly, it really might be coming.
I got you.
Man, let me think on that.
Fishing's here, right?
Fishing.
Yeah, so fishing is unique. Other state associations have it as a sanctioned sport. FHSA has not had it yet. I say yet, hopefully, but it is more of like a club.
Gotcha.
It's like a club sport. So when things are being put on, it's more on the club level. So it's an extracurricular, but it's not sanctioned with the FHSA.
Gotcha.
Kind of like the esports. Like esports is a big thing. FHSA, my first year here, was talking about adding that as a sanctioned sport. They've kind of gone away from it, but again, we still try to provide some opportunities for gamers.
Yeah.
Like Josh Wright out at Arnold does a great job. He puts on a big thing every year, and there's,
And I think Gulf Coast State College has a team.
yeah, FSUPC has an
or
actual
FSUPC,
team, and again,
yep.
the crazy thing, there's like scholarships,
Yeah.
for that stuff. It's
Yeah.
it's unique.
Wow.
It's awesome.
The
So
old adage when we were kids, stay off your video games. Now you're
Dude,
getting
no.
scholarships.
yeah, so and again, our RCT director Jonathan Moore, who helped me, he's a tremendous asset. He was an assistant principal at Arnold when I was out there, but he's doing some stuff in that world to come that'll be pretty unique.
That's cool.
Sports. At what level? High school or middle school?
High school
Okay, high school.
or middle, either one.
So honestly, man, we've added almost every sport that FJ offers except like bowling. I mean, you put me on the spot. I'm trying to remember all the sports they offer, and boys volleyball, which we just added at North Bay Haven.
I wish I had that growing up.
Gosh,
Oh, so bowling is a thing.
Bowling is FJ sanctioned sport.
How about that?
You get scholarships for that too.
I'm sure
Yeah.
you do.
National championships.
So again, going down that road is
You bowl 200 when you bowl?
with the handicap rails, yes.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, you just drop it and let it roll, man. That's the only way. I
With
know
the
how.
rails?
That's it, dude.
Yeah.
Bumpers
Bumpers.
and the actual,
And
the ramp.
Yeah, for the little kids. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I bet you Mulvey's a good bowler.
I used to be. When I was in college, every Tuesday night we'd go to Waccamaw Lanes, and it was $5 all you can bowl, and we would bowl until we couldn't bowl anymore.
Yeah.
And it was like 11 p.m. till 2 a.m. Back in the day where you could stay up and then get up the next morning and actually function. Not anymore. Oh yeah, I used to bowl. I had a ball. It was a weighted ball, all that stuff. It had the fingertips. I learned how to throw it the right way. And then it ended up getting frozen and cracking in one of my moves. So I was pretty disappointed about that.
That's not good.
I really enjoyed bowling. It was
Yeah.
fun. Bowling, table tennis, cornhole.
Yeah.
Those are all kind of my
ESPN Ocho.
yeah.
That's
the
right.
Ocho.
That's right.
The climbing the wet stairs. I would like to see you do that, Jay. I don't know if you've ever seen that on the Ocho.
No.
Speaking of middle school, Josh, you've done a lot for middle school. It's really in the last 2-3 years. And, one of the things you did last year, which was pretty special for all the kids, was all the middle school championship games you live streamed over YouTube. Kids were able to go watch themselves after the fact. We got to watch, obviously UA boys and girls won the county championship in soccer last year, but my daughter played on the on the girls team, and she was able to go back and watch her play and watch them win. And like Ziona Bell, she's now at Mosley. Remember
Pretty
that
talented.
name? She
Pretty
is
talented.
a really, really fantastic soccer player. We got to go back and watch like her goals that she did. It was just so.
Yeah.
We just really appreciate what you're doing for middle school sports and trying to grow that middle school stuff. Any things potentially on the horizon?
Yeah, so just to speak to that, again, the grassroots that I'm in charge of go down to middle school, and you're kind of built by your experiences. So I remember where I grew up in Birmingham, like middle school was it was the chance you got to really see if you figured out if you liked what you did or not, right? And so that was kind of the separation stage of, okay, is this something I want to do ninth grade plus, or do I put this down, or is it something I just want to be a part of? You just kind of figure yourself out. Because you have the elementary kids who have always been the tallest, right? They just dominate the rec leagues and everything. And then that middle school 6 through 8, you kind of start seeing some equilibrium and
catching up a little
absolutely. So it's always fun. Starting middle school cross country was awesome. So like I mentioned earlier, like we had 107 the first year doing it, which was incredible. We're up to 168 boys and girls
That's awesome.
in year 2 running, right? So earlier before I came, I was getting all the middle school meet stuff organized for Majette Park up there on 231. And I mean, I ran out of bibs. I had to go down and buy more bibs, which is a great problem to have,
Absolutely.
So, man, it's awesome. the live stream thing, I had an idea about that because I just wanted it to be something that, again, how can people take pride and be invested and committed to watching a middle school championship, right? I'd always, people are like, oh, it's just middle school. I always rebuttal and say, well, that's not just middle school.
Yeah.
Like, it's important to them.
To those kids, that's their Super Bowl.
Absolutely. Put yourself in the athlete's shoes because those are the participants, right? Well, it's just middle school. So no, I disagree, right? So doing a couple of things. Again, you can't blow it up, but just trying to add here and there. Yeah. The live stream thing was special. We had like for the Jinx, who was it? Jinx North Bay boys basketball championship. We had over like 800 viewers. Like, and it was like, and again, I wish I had better equipment. I wish I had these cameras right here because I was like on the bleachers and it's shaking because it was a great game. And I haven't gone back and looked at the others, but it's just, it caught on, right? Yep. So continuing to just do that and something to look forward to and something that I figure, I mean, me being behind a camera, if that's the worst that happens that day, if it's providing those kids something, like you said, to go back and look at. And because I remember going to you during the UA championship game, and that girl made the girl at Mosley now made that play on the left side of the field and she cut across and then just whipped it in the top right. And I'm like, what? You know, like this girl's really phenomenal. But I would have that would have never been seen or valued if it's just, you know, talk around town, right?
Absolutely.
So.
Well, and it helps to get more kids probably involved in middle school sports because, hey, if we make it all the way to the championship, we'll be on TV.
Yeah, just a little token.
Yeah,
again,
those little things that matter.
Yeah, just something, you know. So I wish they would do all of it. That would, in a perfect world, I'd have the NFHS, but some kind of live stream opportunity for everything. You know, but we're one bite at a time.
Did you ever get anything when you were a kid, like on video or let's call it VHS? VHS, baby.
I can remember going back and watching a couple of hockey games that my mom or my dad filmed on.
Yeah.
I think that wasn't the VHS. That was like the next step down. What was that, like 9mm or something like that? Or that's a gun. Never mind.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Like it was a smaller tape.
Yeah. And then it plugged in. It plugged in, the VHS plugged into the VCR,
yes.
but it had the little
like the
tape.
adapter that you put in that. Yeah. Because didn't they have a VHS tape that went in? Is that what you're talking
That's
about?
right.
And then you put it in?
That's right. Yeah. Anyways.
What happened to Blockbuster
Nostalgia.
if you didn't rewind?
Oof.
We're going Throwback Thursday today, aren't we?
It is Thursday.
It is.
That's true.
It is.
You weren't kind. You didn't rewind. You just brought it back, didn't you?
I rewound. Nah, I rewound because I mean that's what we did back in the '80s, man.
Yeah.
We watch movies all the time.
Follow-up question: what do you think they did with all the tapes that didn't get rewound? You think there was somebody back there in Blockbuster popping them in?
What a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tedious. Because you got to imagine a lot of people didn't do it.
Right.
They just paid the fine or
Or
whatever.
like Jay on purpose. He won't say it here, but he probably on purpose.
Yeah.
No,
1,000%.
But they probably had a super machine back there. Instead of it rewinding for like, you know how it used to take like 5 minutes to rewind? They had some kind of super machine back there. You just press a button.
Probably.
And it rewound it all the way to the front.
In a few seconds.
Yeah,
that was
just like
that was
that.
technology. Yeah.
How long was that?
That's a long
Some
time
of these kids
ago.
don't know what a iPod is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which
right?
is wild. Yes.
Right.
A flip phone.
Do you know?
I do.
We're not all as old as you,
Yeah.
Jay.
Yeah, I know.
I'm getting there though. I'm getting close.
You're getting closer every time.
We're gonna schedule that appointment here sometime soon.
We're 5 years apart. Are we 5? We're 5.
Are we?
Yeah. 85 and 80. Yeah.
Yep. That would be 5 years.
Yeah.
Just turned 30. So
Just turned 30.
just turned
How are the
30.
bones feeling?
It's great, man.
Are they good?
Yeah, great. Absolutely.
How are your bones feeling?
Another 10 more years.
Yeah.
10 more years.
That 40 is an interesting number.
It is.
Couple more quick questions, then we'll dive into some other stuff. If you could, this is a hypothetical, build or create something for Bay County athletics where money didn't matter, what would you do?
Man.
I know that's a super hypothetical, up in the clouds reaching kind of question.
Man, what a question.
Thank you, ChatGPT.
What a question. I just think you can never run out of facilities.
Yes.
Just practice fields, game fields, stadiums, gyms, all the things. I just think the amount of participants, you can never have enough. There's a lot of shared space.
Yes.
That doesn't even fit a lot of stuff we do, right? And I know that in a perfect world, right? I know the budget that we'd have to deal with, unfortunately. But in a perfect world, more facilities, would be awesome, and that would help alleviate a lot of logistical stuff that myself and all the other ADs kind of have to work through on a daily basis.
Yes, scheduling has got to be tough.
Between fields, gyms, all of it, more. You can never have enough of that.
Yeah. Well, and then you mix in the youth sports that are trying to find space as well, and that just really log jams everything. So that would obviously bleed down nicely into the youth sports.
One step we are taking to kind of attack the lack of facility space we do have is we are turfing. We're starting the turfing process at our schools. So we're going to turf the rectangles first, and we're going to try to get those going. Like we're about to put a shovel in the ground at Vera Champlain over there at Rutherford, and then obviously we'll go to Bozeman, and we'll just kind of go down the cycle. And then the superintendent's goal is to expand beyond rectangles, which would be great. Again, the biggest problem we have is overuse, because we don't have as much fields and different things. So then you have a team on it all the time. We have a great grass guy. We have a guy who works for me, Jeff Peterson, who manages all of our stadiums.
Yeah, he does a wonderful job.
He was the old golf course superintendent, I think.
At
Phenomenal, knows his stuff, really, really good. But, he can't just magically grow grass. We have that conversation all the time. I'm like, hey, we need this on this field, or I need to put this event here. And he's like, okay, if you want, if you don't want a nice looking field in 2 months kind of thing. So he's good to have, but I think we are going that route of turf just to try to make it more of a useful space, so that the overuse kind of doesn't become such a big part of what we do.
Well, and then the more you use it, the more inputs you got to put into the grass, the more water, fertilizer, herbicide, insecticide, all that stuff. So yes, it's an upfront cost, but it's a savings down the road.
Yeah, we've our people, not me, above my pay grade, but we've done the feasibility studies and all the things of that, right? It makes sense. It's good to go ahead and jumpstart that. I grew up in Birmingham. Everybody had turf fields, right? So it was coming down here. I was like, oh, y'all don't have a stadium at each school, or you don't have turf, or all the things. So again, you're used to what you grew up with, but that is a step in the direction of the overusage issue that we deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah. Good to hear. Good to know. Speaking of projects, if you can talk about it, what's the next big project for you on the horizon for athletics here in Bay County?
So I'm always open to providing more opportunities for kids, right? Working, just finished in my second year, there are elements out of my control that provide hurdles for different things, right? So transportation, school budget, not having the numbers that we've had in the past, different things out of our control that go into the equation of starting a new sport or starting a new project, right? So obviously the turf one is the one that's been talked about before I even got in the job. They were going to turf before I got in, and then it's taken 3-4 years to really get it started. So I think projects to that mass and that that level just take time. I would love to see an expansion. I have a heart for middle school because I just feel like grassroots that we could control, it would be awesome to provide different opportunities. So again, first year we had cross country, last year we had cross country. I would love to try to see baseball, softball. We've been working on that since I got here. It's been 2 years. I've been working on everything. I have everything, I could just, pick it up and hand it and let's, press play and let's go. So we're to the point where I have it all laid out to where it would fit. It's just a lot of stuff out of our control, like facilities, and then transportation. Those are really our two biggest hurdles when you think about adding a sport, right? So, getting those, aggressively worked on is probably my next biggest hurdle in terms of what's coming up.
Yeah.
We can check some boxes with some transportation issues and facility issues. I foresee that becoming a reality very soon. I know it's needed. I know I get ask that on a weekly basis. Like, when is this coming? When is this coming?
I bet, yeah.
The work has been done. It is continuing to be done. It just takes a village. You know, when you don't have facilities or transportation that can meet the standards of starting up something, you have to rely on partners, and you have to rely on different, whether it's the municipalities or different people to try to help make it all come together. So very complex project that we've been working on, but I feel hopeful that that's coming up in the near future.
Well, and, baseball, softball makes so much sense. Obviously, there's only one middle school right now playing baseball, and they don't even play inside the county.
Yeah.
But there's just so much baseball on the youth side of things, baseball and softball, that it just makes perfect sense to implement that into middle school, get these kids, working towards that high school. Again, I'm going to say it, the pipeline. The pipeline is so important, and it's good to hear that that stuff's being worked on behind the scenes.
It is, and again, I understand the gap, right? I just call it a gap in the system, because our high school softball, baseball teams have been very successful.
Yes,
for a long period of time, and we have state championships to back it up, Elite Eight appearances, scholarships being signed every year to back up the fact that that is a sport that really is in the bloodline of Bay County.
Absolutely.
So how can I help take that next step, to make sure these students are getting what they need moving forward, getting ready for the high school stage.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, Josh, I appreciate you answering all those questions. Jay, I've seen you putting out a lot of content on social media, some cool content. Talk about that a little bit, because I've been following your accounts pretty religiously, because you've been putting out some fun stuff.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think I'm trying to get some more communication out there, right? I think the golf industry hasn't done a really good job of communication, in my opinion. I think that last video I did with Ethan yesterday with, just pace of play on the greens and stuff.
Well, it's not just silly fun stuff. You're also doing informative stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I like it so much.
It's so crazy to think, but you got kids that have played for maybe years that don't understand it or don't know it. And, if I can change one person,
for a long time that don't understand it or don't know.
And I think it's like, honestly, I flipped through, obviously, a lot of Instagram and Facebook and stuff, and it's all golf related, but nobody wants to talk about it. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but we've had there's been so many people come to the game in the last 5 years, but then you got Top Golf, and then you've got virtual stuff, right? And they're not teaching, like, the etiquette part. I mean, you're hitting into a screen.
Going the opposite way.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, I don't know. I'm gonna keep going. I had a few people hit me up yesterday. I was like, "Dude, keep going with the content." So I'm gonna try
fantastic.
with it. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, we'll see.
Fantastic. Obviously, you're not coaching high school golf anymore, but your previous team seems to be doing pretty well, and you had their number one golfer, Ethan McGregor, on a little one-on-one. Looked like that one didn't go so well for you.
It didn't.
That's tough. He's what, 30 years younger than you ish?
Yeah, he is. Maybe, and he's a heck of a lot better player than me.
And he plays all the time.
But after I hit that bad tee shot, Ethan was like, "Come on, Coach Jay, like, you can replay that." And I'm like, "Nope." Nope.
Sympathy.
That's awesome.
Nope.
Sympathy for Jay.
I'm like, I'm keeping. If I'm gonna do this,
you're doing
this
it
social
the
media
right
stuff,
way.
it's gonna be real.
Yeah.
And because I could stand out there and hit 100 shots.
And there's probably a lot of people that you see stuff that make these crazy shots. How many takes did it take?
Yeah.
So I labeled it a severe beating.
Saw that. Yeah.
I mean, and
did you just play 18?
Just 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as soon as he striped one right over the corner of the pond and then you duck hooked it, I was like, "Yep, that's that."
Game over. But that's the beauty of golf, though, and that's the message I'm trying to get out there is that you could, and I'm not trying to compare myself to Tiger Woods or Bryson DeChambeau.
I do every day.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you are
not me.
But you can go play a Bryson DeChambeau, and you could potentially beat him on one hole, and that's the beauty of golf. In football, if you go up against a running back, like he's going to outrun you. If you go, try to race a race car, versus a NASCAR driver, he's going to outrun you.
Yeah.
But in golf, that's the beauty of it is like you're going to lose some, you're going to win some. Like
that's why my favorite format to play is match play.
Yeah.
Because you can make it 8 and then come back and win the next hole, and you're not out of it. That's why I love match play so much. Yeah. Here's a fun fact for you, Jay. If to keep your PGA Tour card, you had to beat Scotty Scheffler in any 72-hole tournament in which Scheffler played this season, there would only be 58 total PGA Tour members. Scheffler has lost to just 57 unique players this season.
What?
It's a fun fact.
That
So he's
is a
only
fun
been,
fact.
they've only shot better than him. Only 57 people have shot better than him this year.
Wow.
That's insane.
I wonder what it was like when Tiger was in his prime.
Shoot.
It was probably a lower number than that. Either way,
Yeah.
that's still a crazy number. All right, you're a kind of a car guy, right, Jay?
Sometimes.
This is another one I've been waiting to ask you, and Josh, you can chime in on this one too. The keys are in the ignition. You can only take one. Which one do you take? The Dukes of Hazzard car, the Knight Rider car, the James Bond Aston Martin, the Ghostbusters hearse, I guess, Miami Vice, I think that's either a Ferrari or a Lambo, Magnum PI, that's certainly a Ferrari, the A-Team, Mad Max, Starsky and Hutch, or Back to the Future.
Wow.
It's tough.
Yeah, you threw that last one in there.
I know, right?
That's the one I would go with simply because of the time travel opportunities.
True. Yeah.
Dukes of Hazzard was the first. Man, that was.
Now, is Daisy in the passenger seat of
For
General
you,
Lee?
yes.
Okay. all
Which
right.
Daisy, though? Which movie? The original?
The original.
Okay.
There's only one.
Okay.
And that's Christina Bach, if I remember correctly.
I don't know because that movie was before
Gosh, she's
my
probably
time.
85.
So you know
now.
which car he's taken off of that.
Dukes of
Yes.
Hazzard.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You going Back to the Future?
He threw that last one in there. It was a curveball because I was thinking, man, I was just classic. Grew up on watching that. and
yeah.
Back to the Future is that's a solid one.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I feel like you have more opportunities when it comes to that one. Jay, should we do a couple quick morning delight debriefs?
Yes, sir.
It's been a little while.
Yes.
I've got a few here.
A morning delight.
Literally, like we talked about last week. Doesn't matter when it is.
No, it does not.
All right, y'all maybe have seen this story. It's titled, Some Guy Scubaed Up to a Disney Restaurant, Robbed It, and Then Scubaed Away. He took all the cash he could stuff into his wetsuit. One of the oddest crimes in recent memory, a restaurant in Florida's Disney Spring claims that a dude in scuba gear swam up, robbed the place, and then swam away. According to the local WFTV 9, the man swam up after the restaurant was closed, then took off his wetsuit and told the employees to stand in the corner of the room before tying them up. After that, he took between $10,000 and $20,000, put it in his wetsuit, and swam away. He was not armed. Police have an image of the man. He was caught on camera while trying to spray paint over it. But apart from his look, they don't have a lot of leads. So if you're in Florida and you see a scuba diver swimming towards your boat, watch out.
Florida man.
That's
He's a
right up
Florida
there
man.
as Florida man.
That reminds me of The Italian Job. Do you remember The Italian
Yeah.
Job, the movie where they let that?
That was with what's the bald guy's name that's in a lot of action movies? Is that the right movie? Jason. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was a good one.
Okay. Yeah.
Very
that was
good
a
one.
good one.
Better than Ocean's 11. Ocean's 11 was good.
That was Ocean's 11 was too unique of a movie in my opinion. There had never really been a movie like that before.
Yeah.
All right. I got several more. If this is kind of a wild one. This is perfect. 2 college students killed 120-pound bear, then skinned the animal back at the school residence hall. This is from people.com. Cornell University, which ironically their mascot is a bear.
Come on.
Cornell University said that 2 students had valid New York State hunting licenses and lawfully killed the bear. 2 Cornell students killed a bear while hunting earlier this month, then brought the animal back to school and skinned it at a residence hall, according to the school. The Cornell Daily Sun, the school's student newspaper, and the Ithaca Voice reported that the students who have been identified killed the black bear while hunting, then skinned and butchered the animal's remains in the kitchen of an undergraduate residence hall on Saturday, September 6th. Pop-ups.
If it's black, fight back.
If it's brown, lay down.
If it's white, good night.
Yes.
That's
Hopefully
right.
you're not
If you
running into
didn't
any
say Cornell, who would you think the school was? The students. From which school? If you didn't say the school name.
Oh, I have no idea.
That's a great question.
Uh,
Their actions led to a complaint filed with the Cornell University Police Department on the evening of Sunday, September 7th. In a statement shared with People on Thursday, September 11th, the university spokesperson said that the 2 Cornell undergraduate students with a valid state hunting licenses killed a bear lawfully over the weekend.
Ooh. Sorry.
These students brought the animal into a Cornell residence hall for processing on Saturday, the school added. After the complaint was filed late Sunday night, a police report was made. The school confirmed, but said no charges had been filed. The bear weighed 120 pounds, according to NBC News, which reported that the Department of Environmental Conservation investigator found no code violations following a visit to the university on Sunday. A sign indicated the kitchen was closed following the incident, the Cornell Daily Sun reported. As noted by the outlet, although Cornell does not have an official mascot, their unofficial mascot is known as Big Red Bear, and it is not an uncommon sight to see students dressed up as bears at big games. Good question, though. Yeah, if you didn't know it was Cornell, where would you think it is?
Dude, I would just say Alabama, just be an Alabama boy. Like that sounds just like something would happen in Tuscaloosa.
I would say LSU too is probably up there with all the crazy animals they eat in Louisiana.
Yeah.
But I guess I can't believe that's not. I mean, I get why they didn't do anything wrong as far as killing the bear and processing it, but just bringing a dead animal into a residence hall kitchen doesn't.
Got to do something about that.
Some kind of violation with that.
Yeah,
I would
no
imagine.
doubt.
But hey, maybe they'll escape scot-free. Jay, you got anything?
Well, since it is betting season, I guess with all the football games and everything.
Always betting season.
How's your betting going? Is it good?
Hanging in there.
You hanging in there?
I had a really good golf season.
Yeah.
Football season hasn't been as great so far, but
I got you.
We'll get there.
Well, how about this cruise passenger jumps overboard to avoid $16,000 in gambling debt?
Oh, man.
I saw that. Jump overboard for 16 grand.
It's crazy. I just feel like all those propellers back there would just grab you up. Like you're done. You're toast.
Yeah.
There's no, I mean, how do you survive that?
Well, and also, if you depending on where you're jumping off, I mean, if you're 11, 12 stories above the ocean, when you hit it, it's going to feel like concrete too.
No kidding. Wow. What is this guy? His name is Gonzalez Diaz. September 7th, 2025. Let's see.
That was not a good day for both of y'all's stories.
Yeah.
A lot of shenanigans going on the 7th of September.
Yeah, no kidding. Cruise line confirmed the debt was primarily associated with casino and gaming expenses, and he had reportedly boarded the vessel on August 31st under a different name.
So this was kind of premeditated.
Scandalous.
Scandalous. All right, this one, it says, strip club owner buys house next door to ex-wife and installs $7,000 middle finger statue. Talk about taking pettiness to a whole nother level. After a bitter divorce, a strip club owner decided to get revenge on his ex-wife in the most outrageous way possible. He bought the house right next door to hers and then spent $7,000 on a giant middle finger statue to display in the yard aimed directly at her home. The towering statue, complete with floodlights so it's visible day and night, has become a viral sensation. Locals say the gesture is impossible to miss, and while some neighbors find it hilarious, others think it's childish and disrespectful. The ex-wife, understandably upset, has called the move harassment, while the man insists it's just his way of expressing himself. Regardless of where you stand, the stunt has sparked endless debate about how far is too far when it comes to getting back to an ex. Revenge may be sweet, but in that case, it is also 7 feet tall statue made of stone.
Amazing.
That's taking it to the
Amazing.
next level. I like how they mentioned he was a strip club owner multiple times in that article.
Oh, yeah.
Like that made a difference.
Right.
All right. You got one more maybe?
I can flip through.
Let me go to my Instagram saved.
I got to read through them first because,
No, that's the beauty of doing them. We're a podcast
Oh, you're talking
now,
about just
too.
yeah, that's true.
It's no big deal.
Yeah.
No big deal.
You make the rules now, buddy. All yours.
No, that would not be good, Josh. That would not be good. What is Mood? Mood hits $100 million in revenue as a bootstrap success without external funding. I don't know. I don't know what that is.
I'm scared to look over at your scroll.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out,
All right,
Ryan.
I'll finish with this one, then we'll talk some sports. This is from Conspiracy Theories Instagram page. The title is "An Entire Town Disappeared in 1954. The phone lines never stopped ringing. A last call, a child whispering, 'It's not done yet.' Tremont, Nevada was a mining town of 241 people. On July 2nd, 1954, every resident vanished overnight. No signs of struggle, breakfast left on tables, radio still playing. But what made Tremont different was this. Its phone lines kept working for decades. Calls came in and out, mostly static, until one was recorded in 1997. A young voice said, 'It's not done yet.' The silence analyst traced the call back to a payphone in the center of the abandoned town. But here's why it breaks reality. The payphone was removed in 1961. No working phone remains in Tremont. And yet, as of this year, the switchboard logs show 17,812 unanswered calls, but from numbers that no longer exist. FBI archives list this town's fate as unresolved temporal disruption. Locals just call it the town that rings. Unsolved mysteries right there.
Oof.
Let's make a trip out to Tremont. See what's going down.
What's your favorite scary movie?
That was what, Scream?
That was Scream, yeah.
That kind of really kicked off scary movies,
It
in my
did,
opinion.
it did. With a little bit of comedy, too.
Yeah. Well, and then you had the parody ones, too. What were those called? Scary. They were called Scary Movie, I think. With like the Wayans brothers and all that.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were mocking the Scream movie.
Yeah.
All right, some upcoming football. We were talking about Bay County sports earlier. Got some big football games coming up. Got some teams trying to get off the losing or not winning any games. Vernon, currently 0-4, will be taking on Jefferson County, who is 1-3. That'll be at Jefferson County. The powerhouse Bluntstown coming into Arnold tomorrow night. Bluntstown's 3-0 and has beaten teams handedly. That's going to be a big uphill battle for the Arnold Marlins, who are 1-2 after losing at South Walton last week. Bluntstown trying to go 4-0. Speaking of 4-0, Madison County coming into Tommy Oliver Stadium tomorrow night to take on the 4-0 Bay Tornadoes. Madison County is 1-3. Bay High just having a crazy good football year so far. Obviously, their quarterback is an absolute stud. And Bay is kind of, inserting their dominance right now as the best team in Bay County.
Yeah, they got a line that has a year on them. They were really young up front last year. But watching those kids get better and give Zay a couple more seconds of protection, and then you got playmakers outside, and you got some speed that some of these teams couldn't match. So it's been fun to watch.
Absolutely fun to watch indeed. 2-1 Sneeds traveling over to 2-2 Bozeman. That'll be at Bozeman. Taylor County, who's 4-0, will be taking on the Destin Sharks, who are 1-2. Mosley, 3-1, taking on the 0-3 Escambia. I forget what their mascot is. Gators. The Escambia Gators. Nice. And I know Escambia played at Bay last week. At Bay last week. And Bay, I think, won that one 28-14. Baker, 4-0. Rutherford is traveling up to Baker to try to get one in the win column. Obviously, Baker, a strong football program. The South Walton Seahawks, 3-0, traveling over to Tallahassee to take on Florida State University High School, who is 2-2. Got some games coming up this Friday night. Still one of the cheapest date nights you can do if you're looking for something to do with you and your date and potentially, your family and all that stuff.
North Behaven Weewall tonight at Tommy Oliver for their homecoming. So
nice.
Last district team with some action this weekend.
Cool. That's right. Today, a little Thursday night. A couple Thursday night footballs going on tonight. All right, Jay, who do your Georgia Bulldogs have this weekend?
We are off. We're preparing for, I think, is it Alabama?
Alabama next week. Yep. Next week's that crazy Ryder Cup weekend, Bama, Georgia.
Yeah.
There's a couple other big-time games as well.
This Ryder Cup's going to go down in history. I'm calling it right now.
It's got all the signs leading up to it.
Yeah.
Coming up this Saturday, Florida State had a bye last week. They are back at home against Kent State. Obviously, Florida State a heavy favorite in that one. One of the bigger games, it's the first game on ABC this afternoon, part of a doubleheader. Really the first big test, I guess you could say, for Oklahoma. Auburn will be traveling over to Norman. That's number 22 versus number 11. Auburn trying to continue their good start. Oklahoma is also 3-0. Oklahoma's a 6.5-point favorite. I think Auburn can go into Norman and upset Jackson Arnold's former team.
Ooh. It's a potential there. A potential.
We're going to find out. I mean, this is a huge game for both programs, for both coaches, really, Brent Venables and Hugh Freeze. Obviously, Auburn would like to go in there and get the win. Obviously, I'd like Auburn to go in there and get the win as well.
Is Hugh on the hot seat more so than Napier, you feel like, or no? You think he's kind of settling in?
It's been different. There's been no SEC games to really get a good feel.
He's taking care of business so far.
Yeah.
The win against Baylor proved to be a pretty strong win because Baylor went on to win some other games.
Yeah.
But I think Napier's seat is very, very hot. And he's got a really tough game this week, too, going against Miami in Miami.
Ooh.
I mean, Florida's got just a brutal schedule. So dropping that one early to USF.
Do you think the check's been ripped from the checkbook?
I think there's some boosters that are getting the money all ready to go.
Yeah.
But again, like we always say, if he goes, who are they going to bring in? Like, there's not all these fantastic coaches out there because if there were, they'd already have a job.
Yeah.
So it's like when I talked to Jay Chapman about Alabama and Kalen DeBoer. Like, if you get rid of DeBoer, who are you going to get? There's not really another good quality option out there right now. 16-17, Texas Tech and Utah. Utah minus 2.5 in that one. I like the Utes to cover the spread against the Red Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got another top 25 matchup in there. Yeah, Illinois and Indiana. Indiana is a 6.5 point favorite in that one. Obviously, it is in Indiana. Both teams 3-0. Both teams looking pretty good. Vanderbilt, that's not top 25, but Vanderbilt trying to build off that momentum from that big win last week against Clemson. And then, like I mentioned, Florida and Miami. That's your Saturday evening game. Miami is only a 7.5 point favorite in that one. Any chance Florida can win that?
No, I'm taking Miami on the points. I don't know about
Laying
you
the
guys.
points?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably a pretty fair, common bet, I would guess. Thursday night football coming up tonight. You've got the Dolphins and the Bills. Bills an 11.5 point favorite, and I think they cover that easily. I don't know what's up with the Dolphins. They're just.
Oh, yeah.
I think your doppelganger has lost his edge.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah, the Dolphins, I don't know. This could be a 0 something start for those guys.
Well, they're already 0-2, and the
Yeah.
Bills are 2-0, and the Bills have looked really good in both their games.
Yeah.
And so I got my loser pool this week is the Dolphins because you got to pick one loser every week.
Right.
So far, so good.
Yeah, I think you're good there. You're good.
We shall see.
Yeah.
We shall see. Falcons against the Panthers. Falcons could get over 500. They look pretty. Are you still divorced from the Falcons and you married the Bills?
I'm mediocre. I mean, I may ask for them back. I mean, we'll see.
Typically, when you sign the papers, it's tough to get it back.
Well, it's true. Yeah.
You got to get it.
We may be 500 this year, and I say we.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. An interesting matchup between the Bengals and the Vikings, but likely with Jake Browning and Carson Wentz leading both of those teams. As you know, JJ went down last week, didn't really have a great game either, and then Joe Burrow just can't stay healthy with a significant turf toe injury, and he actually tore ligaments in his turf toe injury, which he's probably out for 3 or 4 months, something like that. And, of course, your local team should have a really good game between the Rams and the Eagles. I don't know if you remember the playoffs last year. The Rams gave the Eagles everything they wanted in that. I think it was the NFC Championship, if I'm not mistaken. And then Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans, they're hosting the 0-2 Jets. That should be a dub for them.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday night football, Broncos-Chargers, which actually should be a pretty good game. Broncos, really good defense. Chargers, good offense and a good defense. That's Chargers trying to stay in the lead in the AFC West. Saints fans, sorry, you guys are playing the Seahawks this weekend in Seattle. Cowboys, Bears, and then Chiefs, Giants, Sunday night football. Let me ask you guys both this question. There's now that the Chiefs have started 0-2 and they haven't done that since 2014. Everybody's kind of jumping on the dynasty's done. The dynasty's done. I think that's a little too preemptive because what they've done over the last 6 years. Yeah, they've started 0-2, but what did they do last year? They won like 20 games by one score game. So are the Chiefs, is just everybody being dramatic, or do we have to worry about the Chiefs kind of stepping down a little bit from their historical domination role?
I just think the cream comes to the top about, week 5 or week 6, and that's just where they're about to hit their stride here in the next week or two.
And you still got Patrick Mahomes. You still got Andy Reid.
You still got playmakers.
You still got a good defense. You're going to have Rashid Rice and Xavier Worthy coming back, so you haven't had those guys.
Right.
Obviously, Rice got hurt early in that first game, and then – or not Rice. Worthy got hurt early in that first game, and Rice is on suspension.
I think it's just the natural ebb and flow of the NFL. Yeah. You get a long season, so you're looking at some teams that do, well in the first 3-4 games.
Yeah.
Don't usually make playoffs. So it's just a good balance later in the
Last year, you had the Saints go 2-0 and just absolutely blew out two teams, and then what happened? It went way downhill after that.
I feel like it's the season of the kickers this year, though. They're like hitting 62, 63-yard field goals.
Yeah, we were talking about that on Tuesday. It's just they're so good.
Yeah.
They're so good. And it's like Brandon Aubrey making a 64-yarder to tie it to go to overtime. Like, that's pressure.
Yeah.
And you're just banging them in from 64.
Well, and they're all domes now, too. So, you've got a controlled environment. And I'm sure that pigskin's probably a little better than it was back from 92.
Well, I might be wrong about this, but I think the kicker's ball is different than the regular ball. I think the kicker's ball has a little bit bigger bladder. If Glenn Manley's watching, he can confirm this for me.
Really?
But again, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure kicker balls are different than
I learn something new every day.
If it's true. Somebody's probably watching right now and they're saying, no, you're wrong, or yes, you're right.
I should be looking at the comments.
It's okay. I'll remind you. Josh, I appreciate you coming on very, very much. One more shout out to a couple of my other sponsors. Don't forget about American Charlie's. They sponsor our Athlete of the Week $50 gift card. I'll be picking our Athlete of the Week coming up this Monday, so pay attention to our Facebook page. And, of course, Fireflies, also located there in the Edgewater Shopping Plaza. I pretty much just got the Edgewater Shopping Plaza as my sponsors here on the Inside Drive. But go check them out. Best dining restaurant here in Panama City Beach, Bay County. Great sushi, great steaks, great fresh seafood. Go check out Firefly right next to Golf Plus. Go check it out on Golf Plus. Guys, I appreciate you coming on again. Josh, appreciate everything you do here in Bay County. And I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend, and we will be back on Tuesday.